Andres from AA Sports reporting to you from San Jose, California, just south of Levi Stadium in Santa Clara. I just came back from a watch party in downtown San Jose, watching the 49ers take on the Rams. And the 49ers just lost 27-24 against the Los Angeles Rams in what was just an abysmal loss and result for the 49ers, who now fall to 1 win and 2 losses and sit last in the NFC West standings. So let's talk about this. This is without a doubt the worst loss for Kyle Shanahan under his watch with the 49ers. And he even admitted that in the press conference after the game. And I think what makes it the worst loss of his career as a head coach for the 49ers is the fact that, while granted there were some poor decisions made in terms of putting Ronnie Bell on the field, which will definitely be criticized, despite that decision, which was a poor one, overall, the loss today really wasn't Kyle Shanahan's fault. And that's what makes it, I think, the worst loss under his watch. The offense, despite Ronnie Bell not playing well and dropping a golden pass from Brock Purdy, and you could say the same thing for Brandon Ayuk as well, who $30 million a year, it looks like a $30 million a year mistake right now. He dropped like 3 passes, despite those 2 players, those 2 receivers playing poorly, and Brock Purdy not wanting to give them the ball because they kept dropping it. Shanahan's offense, and with Brock Purdy on the field leading it as the quarterback, still did everything right. They still put the team in a winning position to where all the defense needed to do was just make a stop. Just get off just 3 downs, 4 downs, and get off the field and put Brock Purdy back on. And they couldn't do that. The defense could not do that. The defense completely shit the bed in this game. And it was abysmal because, frankly, the Rams offense, this is without Cooper Kupp. This is without Puka Nacua. This is without Higbee. I mean, their offense is completely depleted. The only player that was there, true star player, was Matthew Stafford. And they were pretty much running the ball the entire time. And they still couldn't really stop anything. The defense today was atrocious. And this is inexcusable. It's an unacceptable result. In my opinion, based on what we've seen, the defense has gotten worse in just these first 3 games. While I understood the context behind why they considered and eventually did fire Steve Wilks, looking at it now, that's a big mistake. That is a big mistake. Because the defense under Sorensen and Brandon Staley has gotten worse in just these first 3 weeks of the season. Nick Sorensen and Brandon Staley should both be fired. I'm sorry. I know it sounds harsh, but I'm sorry. To lose to this team, to lose to the B team, essentially, for the Rams is absolutely inexcusable. And the fact that all you needed to do was just be decent coaching and leading the defense, they couldn't do that. And the defensive players looked unorganized. They looked out of sort. And it was completely inexcusable, especially when given. And I get injuries were a big factor for the 49ers, at least offensively. But defensively, the defense got healthier, especially with the return of Talanoa Hufanga. This was inexcusable, and it's just an unbelievably just pathetic loss. And it sucks. I feel bad for Brock Purdy. He had a phenomenal game today. And everybody's saying like, oh, let's see what he can do as the quarterback now without his quote-unquote Avengers. He did really, really well. He threw for 294 yards and 3 touchdowns. But all 3 to Juwan Jennings. Juwan Jennings had a great game. He was catching everything. If anything, Juwan Jennings should have been the one who should have been paying $30 million a year, not Ayuk, because Ayuk, we gave him the bag, and now he's slacked off completely. And in my opinion, he should not even start the next game. This was abysmal all around. Yeah, just an abysmal result, and especially on the defensive end, the 49ers need to make changes. I'd even say it up to the coaching level. And then offensively, Ronnie Bell and Brandon Ayuk are just not good enough right now. They should be on the bench. Andres from Dolea Sports. Leave your initial reactions in the comments below. Stay tuned for my grades, where I'll break down more and give a more in-depth reaction to this loss. Final score, 49ers 24, Rams 27. Rams take the win, and the 49ers fall to 1-2. And now they are in a very hard position where next week they will, in all practical purposes, I think, have to win, or else it'll be very, very hard to recover for the 49ers. So we'll see what happens. And that's all from me. We'll see. Stay tuned.